get into our hot topics for this week. The fourth story is: if you were NFL GM owner, would you hire an offensive-minded coach or a defensive-minded coach? What would be your preference to hire as a coach? Brian, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Who will be?
Yeah, because
Who will be
you
your?
see, I'm struggling with my stuff, but
I
of
can come
course,
back.
bring me first.
I can come back to
No,
you.
no, it's fine, it's fine. If I had the choice, if I'm Jerry Jones, if I'm Daniel Snyder, any of these billion-dollar coaches, I think I'm going offense first. Mainly if I have a quarterback. Now, if I don't have a quarterback and don't have perspective on a quality quarterback, then I may search for more for a defensive minded coach. But initially, the NFL now is offensive based. Rules are based to help the offense more. I think that you can be more successful early if you have a good offense. So I would start with an offensive minded coach, and then hopefully, find somebody, young and up and coming defensive coach to try to, make them at least competitive. But most of these teams besides the Eagles, really these other teams that was in the NFL, they didn't have, ground stomping defense, them and the Niners. But the other teams that are in the playoffs right now, their defenses were average or a little bit better above average. But it's the offenses that got them where they needed to be. So give me an offensive head coach.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of agree with you on that one, Brian, too. But you made a point too about if I have an established quarterback, a Peyton Manning, a Brady, somebody who's established, then it makes it a little easier to go to defense because they've already set. They're pretty much a coach out there themselves, and they can do it. But for the most part, if I'm trying to establish myself, it's going to be an offensive minded coach as far as a young quarterback concerned. But you look at the NFL teams that were in the conference championship. All those coaches were offensive minded coaches. I think the last defensive minded coach to really win is really Belichick. They other than that, they've all been offensive minded coaches that won the Super Bowl as of lately. So I'm with you too, Brian. I'll take the offensive coordinator anytime. Especially if I don't have an established veteran quarterback that I have there, I'm taking the offensive minded. Herman, who would you take?
So, Brian, you said that you would take the defensive coach if you didn't have a quarterback?
I had it the other way around. I felt if I had a quarterback, I would want an offensive coach to
that's what
make him even better.
Yeah. I'm more along the lines of what Mark is saying. If I have an established quarterback who probably already have an offensive coordinator, I may go with a defensive coach. But if I'm looking to establish a quarterback and get my offense, the spark that it needs or something good, I would definitely go with an offensive minded coach. And like I said, I was trying to think of defensive minded coaches that's won the Super Bowl. I mean, there's been a lot of coaches, but like you said, Belichick,
Tomlin,
Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
Who can you think of anybody else that's been a defensive coach? Pete Carroll, is he?
Bill Parcells.
Parcells,
yeah.
How long ago was that though?
But
we're just saying though to not too many of them win Super Bowls or been a Super Bowl to win it.
So I would more lean to an offensive coach. Maybe even if I had an established quarterback, because it seems like more offensive coaches win championships than defensive coaches do. I'd be interested to see what those numbers actually are. But so yeah, I would go offensive and defensive in some situations, but more than likely it would be offensive minded coach.
Marcus, who would you take?
So my first instinct is to say offensive minded coach because I like offense much more than defense. But I guess I would have to look at where my team is currently strong at. And what the identity of my team is. If my team is known already for a good defense, I'll probably get a defensive coordinator as my coach. Because you want to play to your strengths. Like you guys said, if you got a quarterback and you know you got more offensive players, star players, Pro Bowl players, then I would go with offense. But it would definitely depend on where my team was already strong at. Now, if my team was just not strong at all, do whatever. We just need a good coach in here. Then I would probably go offense, and because I do believe in these days, probably not except for DeMarco. What's the guy's name? The one that got hired, DeMarco Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only really hot defensive coordinator that everybody wanted to hire. Everybody else, they seem to be going offense. Like Brian Daboll, he's an offensive dude. Everybody seems to want to snatch from Sean McVay's tree or snatch from Kyle Shanahan's tree. And you see the Broncos, they just went and hired Sean Payton. He's an offensive minded coach. So if I was in the middle or I wasn't strong on either side, I would go offense. But if I was strong on defense, it'd be defense. If I was strong on offense, it'd be offense.
So just real quick, Marcus, your team is the Commodes. I mean the Commanders.
Commanders, sir.
Yeah. So you're Schneider, and you need a head coach for the team that you just seen last year. Who are you hiring?
I think I'm gonna go offense. I'm gonna go offense because we need a quarterback. We don't have one, but we need one. And I want to see what we got in Sam Howell. So bring a good offensive guy there to maybe coach him up, see what we got. If he's not it, we can draft or trade the following season. I feel right now we're better on offense. We got some key wide receivers. We got a good running game. I would go for an offensive minded coach.
Hey, just real quick, we're gonna get off this real quick. But when we're talking about these coaches too, are we hiring a new coach, like an offensive coordinator, or are you hiring like a veteran?
I don't think it matters. I mean, as long as he's offensive minded compared to defense, I don't think it matters.
That could matter too. I mean, because you might want to get one of these hot up and coming, from a branch like Marcus just said, like coming off of Kyle Shanahan's branch or whoever's branch. So I guess it depends on the identity of your team a little bit too. If your team is built up of a lot of young players and you have a good core of veterans, you might want to go with a young, hot, up-and-coming coach because some of these older offensive coordinators, these older coaches, they won't change with the game, and that's what a lot of their problems are. They try to fit a square peg in a round hole, you know what I mean? And instead of adjusting to the game and adjusting to the players. And I think the young offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, they understand the game. They're a little bit closer to the game, especially some of the ex-players. So they adjust better.
The only old head coach that seems to keep innovating is Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, yeah.
He's the only one that seems to keep changing up.
Peterson ain't no spring chicken.
Who?
Doug Peterson.
That's true.
Hey, don't forget about Pete Carroll either.
He hasn't been a head coach that long. He hasn't been a head. Doug Peterson hasn't been a head coach nearly as long as
he was the head coach of the Eagles, sir. He took the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
He hasn't been that.
He been there long enough though.
He was there for 4 years, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there for a couple of years.
That's not a long time.
Pete Carroll was there for a while.
Andy Reid was a head coach for like 30 years. He was like 14 with Eagles and like 10 with the Chiefs or something like that.
Yeah, they're idiots for firing Andy Reid. Let me just say that.
But you look at Doug Peterson as being a veteran.
They did be in the Super Bowl, and they're back in the Super Bowl, so you can't really say that. And I think
Kansas City has gone to 5 straight AFC champions.
Yeah, but they still have the same amount of Super Bowls as the Eagles.
That is true. In that same time period, they should do that.
And I think sometimes the message gets hollow after time. I think if you're in a place for too long, I think that's what's happening with the Patriots right now. I think Belichick's message is getting hollow.
5 years he was with the Eagles. Peterson was with the Eagles.
Belichick don't have the players that he did before.
He doesn't. Well, he never really did though. He always.
Well, it was easy when you had Tom Brady. It was easy when you had Tom Brady.
I don't know how easy it was. It wasn't easy last year with the Buccaneers.
Because the team sucked.
Well, they still had Tom Brady. You just said it's easy with Tom Brady. It wasn't easy.
But he had no one around him. Come on, man. That team was terrible.
He did what? Why didn't he?
The team was terrible. That's the same team he took the Super Bowl 2 years ago. The team was terrible.
Right, it was better. He had all his wide receivers this time.
How it was better? They got eliminated. They got eliminated
because they ran into the Cowboys. That's why.
Oh my Lord!
I love how you walk right into them.
I didn't. Whatever. we got an old coach.
Come on, host.
Probably need to go.
Reel him in, host.
Hey, but real quick, dog. This is the last thing. If I have a young offensive coordinator an old defensive coach. Defensive. If my head coach is young, I want an older veteran defensive coordinator to be there to help him do the coaching stuff.
Hey, to go back to the point you said about Doug Peterson, he's been there 4 years as a head coach. He's been there longer than that as an assistant, but he's been a head coach for 4 years.
No, he was 5 years in Philly.
Herman said 5.
I show from 2016 to 2020.
Literally just look it up.
2016 to 20 as a head coach.
This year is 20 is another year, Mark.
Yeah, this year is another year.
You're just looking up the Eagles. He's now head coach. He's been 1 year head coach.
No, I'm saying as an Eagles coach. As an Eagles coach.
Okay.
I'm seeing 2016 to 2020.
How many years is that?
I guess
That's 5.
4.
That's 4.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many years is that?
No. You count 17, 18, 19, 20.
No.
Slap. 5 fingers.
Can we just move on? Because I'm looking. I'm literally looking at the stats.
Okay, he's been there 4 to 5 years.
I'm looking
We'll just say 4 to 5. We'll say 4 to 5. How about that?
He went 15
that's
to
not
16,
true. It's 5.
16 to 17, 17 to 18, 18 to 19, 19 to 20. It's 5 years. Come on, y'all. Agree.
Hey Herman, I can't tell you what Mark is, but the one up here, he ain't got no kids, so he don't be counting out.
All
right, let's move on.
Thank you for watching this clip from The Lev Game. You can find us on YouTube at The Lev Game, on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Lev Game. We're also on Twitter, The Lev Game 3, and on Instagram at the official The Lev Game. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.